There was this one day when I got set up with this one girl where I had to talk to her mom before I could talk to her. It was weird. I matched with her, but her mom was the one leading the dating the profile. And by the way, there was this one dating app where you could blur out your photos. So this was a good safety filter to make sure that the people that were matching weren't just being shallow and looking at someone's face. They were really trying to match for the personality. Being the guy that I wasn't over here reading anyone's bio. I would just right swipe on anyone. And if I really liked them, I'd double down on the conversation. If I didn't, I'd unmatch them later. I matched with this one girl whose face is blurred out. The thing that caught me was that I noticed that she was right by me. She lived in Fort Lauderdale. I lived in Tampa. And thus far, I had been matching with girls in Canada, Dubai, California. So I thought, whoa, this girl is relatively close. So I started messaging her. Her mom is the one who messages me back and says she wants to get on a phone call with me. We talk, and she ends up liking me a lot and says, I believe you will be perfect for my daughter. So she gives me the daughter's contact information. The next day, I call the daughter, and we're over here interacting. I didn't really love that conversation because I felt as though the girl was a little too serious, but I decided to give her grace because this was our first time talking. I mean, obviously, you're not going to have breathtaking conversation in your first ever interaction. So after that first call, I asked, hey, can I see what you look like? And that's when I thought she was being a little shady. She kept saying she was going to send me pictures of her, but would delay it. And at that point, I kept asking, hey, do you mind if I see you? I want to make sure there's some physical chemistry, etc. But I wanted to frame it in a way where I didn't come off as a shallow person. She eventually sent me a picture. And once she sent me a picture, I thought she was okay looking. She wasn't bad, but she wasn't wowing me or anything. I thought she was okay looking. I thought this was a decent place to start off with. We start to have the conversation. And this is the beginning of our interaction. So I'm over here just creating some basic conversation, trying to understand her childhood, her present, and eventually I'm going to ask about her future. Within a couple of questions though, she tells me, hey Arman, we gotta actually have some serious conversations. Okay, I mean, what do you exactly mean by that? I mean, what serious conversations are you looking for in interaction number 2? She says, yes, we need to have a lot more serious conversations, especially considering why we're interacting. I thought, okay, I mean, that's fair. I mean, she doesn't want her time wasted. I don't want my time wasted. So the question that comes to my mind, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, should I ask that? Yeah, go ahead. She's giving you the green light to ask a deep question. When do you want to get married? Just a rough estimate. I kid you not. That girl freaks out. Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean, what do I mean by that? When do you want to get married? It's a very straightforward question. And then she's over here typing. I can see the typing bubbles and everything. Well, that's not for me to decide. That's for the Almighty to decide. I said, okay, well, I know that, but okay, so you don't have a rough estimate because on a lot of these dating apps, there's actually these timelines that you could fill out. I mean, the next 2 years, next 5 years, nothing. And she gets so irritated where I thought, whoa, I tried to ask this girl a deep question, and rather than opening up, it failed spectacularly. So what happened was I tried to abruptly change the conversation. I said, oh, okay, well, never mind. Anyway, what's your plans for tonight? She doesn't message me. When she didn't message me like that, I was somewhat irritated because at that stage, I had kept getting these awful matches, or I had these matches that were amazing that would, it'll just fizzle out with. So I was so irritated. I thought, why? Why is it that all these other people could find matches, but for me, something weird is always happening? So she didn't respond back, and I thought, okay, whatever, I'm not going to hit her up again. The next day, though, we were supposed to have a phone call at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. rolls around. I still don't see a text message from her, so I don't call her. By 7, she hits me up on text, and she asks me what happened. I was supposed to call her at 6. And I said, wait, you didn't even respond back to me yesterday. What do you mean? And she says, what do you mean? I did respond back to you. The whole marriage question, right? I said, no, I asked you something else after. And I sent her a screenshot. She responds back that she didn't get the screenshot. So I thought she was ghosting me, but in reality, it was a technical error. And I saw that a lot of the times when you think someone is ghosting you, it's really not a ghost session. Instead, it's a technical error. For whatever reason, your message did not send. And unless one person follows up and asks, hey, is everything okay? Then you'll never know if it was a technical issue or not. This was the first of 2 times where I thought someone was ghosting me, for me to only realize later on that they weren't ghosting me. Instead, the message just didn't send. And this is where I started to rethink all these past moments when I thought someone ghosted me. And I thought, whoa, what if those people actually didn't ghost me, but they think I ghosted them? It's because I sent them a message, they never got it, they never responded back, and I thought they ghosted me, so I never responded back. I'm not one of these guys that's going to follow up too much if I think you're ghosting me. I'll just move on to the next one. So this is something to take seriously. If you feel as though someone is your soulmate and you think they're ghosting you, every now and then you got to swallow your pride and hit them up and say, hey, is everything okay? I just wanted to make sure that my last message went through. It could have been an actual ghost session. They were like, yeah, it did go through. I just didn't think we had a good match. Boom. Okay, so they were ghosting you. But other times, very rarely, they'll say, whoa, you actually respond back. I thought you were ghosting me. So there was this concept that I created a while back called dual jealousy, where the people that you're jealous of, they're jealous of you. And my remix to that is called dual ghosting. The people that you think are ghosting you, think that you are ghosting them. So that's something to understand.